We'll see what the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers are made of in this preseason tilt. The Panthers
are hosting here and want to be able to keep the home field advantage going as we get ready for this one. Chris, what is the key in this matchup?
Well, Gus, I think you said it best, home field advantage. This team needs to come out and rally early to get the fans on their side. If you have thousands of fans screaming and cheering, you feed off of that and you can turn it into some positive stuff on the field. This should be a great game in this one.
All right, Chris, with that in mind, it's game time. We've got two teams really ready to roll. And from Ole Miss, onto the field steps the eighth-year quarterback, Eli Manning. And he's running with a purpose now. Chris Gamble was there to bring him down.
And you can see a defense, when they get gouged for a big run like that, they all start looking around and thinking, whose gap was that? Who gave up that big a hole?
Drop behind the line. And as we look at the key offensive players, Hakeem Nicks out of North Carolina is the go-to deep threat.
And that's important when we talk about a balanced attack all the time. And if you can't stretch the field, you're in danger of becoming extremely one-dimensional. Hakeem Nicks is an exciting player that gives the offense that home run threat.
And Chrissy is definitely primed to be a performer to watch in this one. And we'll have a first down and 10. Ball on the 19-yard line. Steps and throws to the left side. He picks it up.
You could see the quarterback that time trying to look the safety off, but this safety is simply too smart. He was having none of it and jumped in front to make the interception.
So now the quarterback comes onto the field, and in conversations with him earlier in the week, he mentioned that he really wanted to get going early and get into a rhythm. Let's see if he can do just that.
This is an offense that can score on you in a hurry. With this big play threat, veteran wide receiver Steve Smith from Utah is still getting it done.
He's just amazing, isn't he, Gus? Usually receivers will lose speed as their careers progress. I know all about that. Steve Smith can still get down the field fast and burn you deep. Of course, the hands are still there, too. He's been giving a lot of defensive coordinators migraines for a long time.
And Chrissy is definitely primed to be a performer to watch in this one.
As we take a look at the key players on the defense, it's led by excellent defensive end Justin Tuck from Notre Dame, who is the centerpiece of this squad, a two-time Pro Bowler.
He's a guy that occasionally has been overshadowed in his career by somebody else on that defense, but now when you look at this defense, I don't think there's any question who the leader is. It's Justin Tuck.
And from their own 34-yard line. Look out, heavy pressure on him.
The quarterback had no chance on that play. Talk about raw determination by the defender to get into the backfield.
Yeah, not a lot of pretense on that play. He is so strong. It seems like he can bulldoze through these huge offensive linemen almost at will. They're going to need to find a way to double team him if they ever hope to keep him off their quarterback.
And that opens up room for other defenders.
Yeah, exactly, and that's another reason why he's so dangerous. You need two guys to shut him down, which allows one of the other defenders to get after the quarterback unblocked. Nothing makes a defensive coordinator cringe more than seeing that kind of run, because then it sets up the play action, and there's almost no way to stop an offense if you can't stop the run and you have to deal with play action.
They line up at the 38. Here's a pass over the middle. Michael Boley was there for the stop.
And you know the amazing thing about this guy? We all talk about his arm strength. But did you see how fluid that delivery was? He didn't even look like he was trying to throw it hard.
Still looking for an open man. He's looking to run. Defense pushes him out of bounds. At the 18-yard line. Only a yard needed to convert here on second down. And that's the end of the first quarter. No score after one. The Panthers, nothing. The Giants, nothing. Flips out short. Ryan Jackson was there to bring him down.
The Panthers haven't been lining it up in the passing game yet, have they? They've been running some very conservative plays.
Stewart on the inside.
With the carry on the play. Gain of 4.
Handoff, 4 yards on the carry. Right handoff, 4 yards on the carry.
Man, we got to keep fighting.
They're now threatening inside the 10. They're now threatening inside the 10. He's looking towards the left side. He's looking towards the left side. Edwards hauls it in. But is it good? The officials will huddle. Baker adds the extra point. Carolina is up a score. Casey is just about ready to kick this one away. Calhoun stands back to field the kick. Fields the kick at the 10. He gets this one to the 26-yard line. Number 36 was there to bring him down. They'll go to work at the 26-yard line. Now we have a first down and 10 to go. And looks left. Throws. Everything seemed to work perfectly on that one.
That was a nice job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback enough time to survey the field and find the open guy.
Breaking through up the gut.
Breaking through up the gut.
Yeah, the offensive line did their job. They created enough of a seam to get him up into the secondary, and then he was able to explode from there.
Jacobs gets it on the inside. He's brought down right around the 36-yard line by number 57. And 2 yards away here on second down. And 2 yards away here on second down. Throws to his left. Throws to his left.
You talk all the time about you have to establish the run. Well, there you see why. You establish the run, and then you come with the play-action pass. Just so hard to defend.
He's going to his right. He's going to his right. Throws. And he gives the Giants a first and goal. Everything seemed to work perfectly on that one.
And that's a pattern that this team likes to run. You know they've been studying that all week on film, and yet they still can't stop it.
Fires a laser down the middle. Fires a laser down the middle. The attempted pick comes up empty, and it goes for a huge gain.
He has a reputation for going after the ball aggressively, and sometimes he's going to get burned. You just have to hope that the safety has your back on a play like that.
And that can't make the safety too happy, putting them on an island out there.
Yeah, I guess, but it really kind of goes with the territory when you have an aggressive corner. I think most of the time a safety can respect that.
Collects it at the 7. At the 40. At the 40. He's gone. And on the very first play.
Having a kickoff return guy that can return at the distance is such a huge advantage for a team. That's why you're seeing more and more teams around the league drafting guys that can take it to the house.
He misses the extra point. Carolina up 6 points now. Carolina will be kicking off. Calhoun is deep, looking to return the kickoff. He kicks it on a line. Witherspoon takes the kick at the 15. He takes it to maybe the 36-yard line. D'Angelo Williams was there for the stop. They'll get the ball here at the 36-yard line. It's almost picked off. Barden was the intended receiver on the play. They'll face second down and 10. Ball on their own 36. Passes out to his right. It looks like he was able to bring it down in bounds. They'll discuss it. They're facing a 3rd and 10. Ball on their own 36. Looks right. Throws.
Anytime you give up that quick pressure like that, very seldom are those passes completed.
Fields the punt at the 19-yard line. Hakeem Nicks was there to bring him down. The offense will take over at the 19. First down, 10 to go. Here's a halfback. The stop was made by Chris Canty. 3 yards there. Second and 7 situation here. So they have the ball on their own 21.
He's searching for a receiver.
He's searching for a receiver. Looks left. Loads it up. Ryan Jackson was there for the stop.
And we don't often talk about accuracy on the deep throw, but that one was just thrown in there beautifully.
Short throw to the right.
Short throw to the right. Jackson made the catch for a gain of 6. And just about 4 yards away here on second down.
Looking for a man. Deep pass.
Looking for a man. Deep pass. He wants the end zone. Nearly picked off. He should have had that one. No completion that time, and it'll bring up third down. Just about 4 yards shy of the first here on third down. Goes through his progression. He's wrestled down around the 13-yard line by number 29. The field goal unit is out on the field, and they're going to try to get these guys 3 points before halftime. The kick is no good. And as we head to halftime, our score is 13-7. Carolina will get it first here in the second half. Caught at the 8. He gets out to about the 22-yard line. Ryan Jackson was there to bring him down. They'll start this drive at the 22-yard line. First down and 10. Gives it up the gut. Oh, he's off. Running strong downfield. Rumble, young man, rumble. Touchdown, Panthers.
Man, that is just pure speed. And when you have jets like that, it really throws a bit of fear into a defense because they know you have the ability to make a play from anywhere on the field.
Lloyd is good on the point after. So, time winding down in the third with the score. The Panthers 20, the Giants 7. And he'll return it from way back at the 3. Number 57 was there for the stop. They'll start at the 24-yard line. And we'll have a first down and 10. Surveys the field. He gunned that one in there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did. And when you watch a guy throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see them driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
And so far in this one, as you can see, this player has been the impact performer of the game so far. He lost yardage on the play.
You know, you can draw up any sort of protection scheme and blocking scheme that you want. But ultimately, this game comes down to one big man against another big man. And that time, the defense's big men, they won the battle.
Here's the long bomb.
That was a pretty bad miss that time, and we've seen it from him before. He just cannot seem to connect on those long throws.
He rolls out to his right. And he's tackled around the 45-yard line by Harris. Fourth down. The Giants lining up to punt. We have our first penalty of the game. He brings it in and hit immediately. And I have a feeling this one is coming back. And I really didn't see the hold there.
You're starting to sound more like an offensive lineman every day, Gus. You know, the reality is there really is holding on every single play, but the rule changes now allow for guys that can't reach outside that framework. Yeah, it really just throws you off rhythm to have a play that gains nothing. You know, you're going to get something, 2, 3, 4 yards, and it keeps you in that rhythm. But when a defense makes a play like that, it really throws your offense off.
He's knocked out of bounds at the 44.
Those big guys up front, they just keep pushing the defense back. At some point, now you're going to have to do something to try and stop those running lanes, but then look out. The passing could be wide open.
Searching for an open man. And he drops the short pick.
Well, you have to admire his courage. He's not afraid to make any throw, anytime, anywhere, but he's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
From their own 44-yard line. He takes a hard hit as he throws.
And even though the blitz didn't get there that time, it just accelerated that clock in the quarterback's head, forced him to throw it out there a little bit sooner than he wanted, and led to the incomplete.
It's third down, 10 yards for first. Ball on their own 44. Has a seam down the middle.
Yeah, I think he would have needed a jackhammer to get that one in there. That was tight coverage.
It's fourth down. The Panthers are lining up to punt it away. And calls for the fair catch at the 24-yard line. You would have to think that this is where they need to make something happen in order to get back into this one. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
And you can see the running back there just saying, where are my guys? Where's my blocking? What's going on out here? Just need a little help from your friends.
Look out, heavy pressure on him.
I don't think there's any play in football that's prettier than a perfectly executed blitz. If you time out the snap count, if you disguise it, if you don't tip it to the quarterback, you end up with results like that. Big sacks, big plays. The Panthers did an excellent job tackling and keeping things in front of them on that series to force the 3-and-out.
It's fourth down. The Giants ready to punt this one away. And they down it at the 49-yard line. The offense will start at the 49-yard line. Now we have a first down and 10 to go. He's dropped down right around the 46-yard line by Harris. The Panthers have the ball at a 2-possession advantage as we get set for the final quarter. Brings up second down and 5. Ball on the 46. They're going for the home run. He's tackled right around the 14-yard line by number 29. So it's now first and 10 after the big pass play. He breaks away, looking for an open man.
Big run on that one, but they were able to stop him before he got to the marker, and really that's the key. Occasionally, if you're going to try and make a play in a long yardage situation, a quarterback run from the defensive standpoint isn't always so bad.
Good coverage downfield. He's brought down at about the 7-yard line by Hall. And just 7 yards from a touchdown now. Throws it to the middle.
Number 1 has his pass ball incomplete. Fourth down.
They'll call on the field goal unit here. And he makes it. So that will make the score the Panthers 23, the Giants 7. And it's fielded at the 4. He returns to the 26. Number 29 was there to bring him down. They'll set up shop at the 26-yard line. It's first and 10. Loads up, looking to his right. He's wrestled down at about the 41 by number 56. Looks for the safe short throw. And he's tackled around the 31-yard line by Alexander.
Well, that's an example of a very good play against pressure. They were coming after him, but the quick throw beat him.
Where was the intended receiver? About the length of the football away from the first down marker. They'll throw for the first. Picked off. Wow, he closed on the ball quickly and came up with the interception.
Yeah, he took a risk going for the ball there because he didn't have any help behind him. But when you're that good at closing and attacking the ball, you can certainly afford to gamble occasionally.
And it's amazing the talent that you get away with.
Short yardage situation here, second and a yard.
Short yardage situation here, second and a yard. And looks left. Throws.
Well, this is a guy who's known for taking some risks, but that was an unnecessary risk there. Lucky that wasn't intercepted.
Goodson will run it again.
Goodson will run it again. He's dropped down around the 46-yard line by number 29. First down, 10 to go. And with that, the 2-minute warning is reached. Goodson gets the call. Gets to around the 45. Aaron Ross was there for the stop. Only a yard needed to convert here on second down. Goodson gets another handoff. Sheds the tackle with a perfect stiff arm. Nice move, and he scores. And that should wrap this game up.
Well, I know they were trying to be aggressive there and force a turnover or do something to turn this game around, but now with a 3-score lead, it is pretty much done.
And the point after is good. Baker is just about ready to kick this one away. Witherspoon is back to receive the kick. He'll return it from the 6. And the tackle was made by Jonathan Stewart. They'll go to work at the 32-yard line. First down and 10. Tons of pressure. He's hit as he throws.
When you get that kind of pressure, a lot of times the play will result in something worse than just an incompletion.
Passes out to his right. Number 85 was the intended receiver on the play. Third down and 10 coming up here. Steps and throws to the left side. He picks it off. The stop was made by Darrell Scott. The Panthers have honed in on this pass attack and now have 3 picks. And we'll have a first down and 10. Ball on the 40-yard line. Stiff arm. Makes a move, and he's in for the touchdown.
Every team needs a guy like this. He can take the handoff and go the distance. It is just so difficult in this league to go on those 12 and 14-play drives time after time.
Extra point is good. Baker is ready to kick this one off. Jernigan stands back to field the kick. Caught at the 8. He makes it to the 23-yard line. Williams was there to bring him down. They'll start this drive at the 23-yard line. Now we have a first down and 10 to go. Scott hands it left. He gets out to about the 25-yard line. Eric Norwood was there for the stop. Fires a strike to the right. The pass falls incomplete. Number 85 was his intended target.
That'll bring up third down.
That'll bring up third down with 8 yards to go. Ball on their own 25.
Pass is short right side.
Pass is short right side.
Patience for a wide receiver is just so key. He's able to manipulate that defense, set them up one play, come back with the exact same look, and break off of it the next. Beautifully done. One of the great things about football is you have to play in every kind of weather condition, but right now, getting a grip on that football is just not easy.
Passes it over the middle of the field.
And that's one of those that the wideout goes back to the huddle thinking, he stinks. This guy's terrible. Then as soon as he sees his quarterback, he says, Don't worry about it. We'll get it next time.
Left. Here's a short pass. And the pass falls incomplete. 4th down. The Giants lining up to punt. Marshall fields the ball at the 34. He takes it out and is tackled at the 48. Wilkinson was there to bring him down.
Boy, that was a close one for the coverage team. They were able to wrap him up before he broke it open, but he is on the brink. This coverage team is going to have to start playing with a little more intensity, a little more heart, or they're going to give up a big one.
Surveys the field. Has a man out to his right. It's almost picked off. I thought for sure they'd try to run out the clock.
Well, just about the time you were thinking they were going to try and run this clock out, they go out and they're aggressive, but now the clock stops.
Still looking for an open man.
Still looking for an open man. He drops the easy pick. Very surprising to see them go with a pass play in that situation.
Well, you want to stay aggressive, but that is the risk that you run when you throw the football there, because an incompletion means the clock stops, and that hurts.
Direct snap to the back. He doesn't get back to the line. What about that play call?
Well, I always like to see an offense stay aggressive, I guess, but at least in this situation, it's a 4th quarter, you have the lead, I can understand the call.
He'll field it at the 17. And the tackle was made by Lazarius Livingston. He'll get the ball here at the 22-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Looks left, loads it up. That's all from Bank of America Stadium. Our post-game wrap-up is next.
And let's take a look at Gatorade,
Performer of the Game.